Will big data lead us to a great new world? A world where tons of various kinds of information will miraculously turn into actionable knowledge used in a responsible way, turning our world into a place where everyone gets everything they need and want? Or will big data lead us to a dreadful world governed by machines that spy on us and manipulate us, turning our world into a place so lacking of privacy, so wanting of free will, and so missing of own decision-making that, in comparison, George Orwell's 1984 would look like paradise? Data is Latin for things given. Data, thus things given to us, stem from various sources, for example, nature, careful observation, or people. But what turns data into big data? What makes most big data big is repeated observation over time and/or space. The weblog records millions of visits a day to a handful of pages. The cell phone database stores time and location every 15 seconds for each of a few million phones. The retailer has thousands of stores, tens of thousands of products, and millions of customers, but logs billions and billions of individual transactions in a year. Scientific measurements are often made at a high time resolution, thousands of samples a second in neuropsychology, far more in particle physics. They really start to get huge when they involve 2 or 3 dimensions of space as well, for example in neuroimaging. The analysis of big data infiltrates all walks of life. It changes the way we connect to others, exchange information, knowledge, and even feelings. It changes the way we take decisions, shop, and play. It changes the way we communicate, work, and collaborate. While connecting with platforms, while chatting and shopping, we produce data. Those of us wearing sensors add to this enormous amount of data even more. Handling big data comprises 3 major steps. Step 1 and Step 2, that is collecting and storing big data with all its dimensions, including the timeline, proves to be difficult. The 3rd step of analyzing big data, that is turning a bunch of raw data into meaningful and actionable knowledge, can be extremely challenging. Not done carefully or correctly, it might lead to meaningless, possibly deceiving results. At the same time, not using big data might mean falling behind. Particularly firms might lose out as their competitors might use big data to be more innovative, to produce more efficiently, to market more tailor-made products, or to offer better services, so basically outcompeting them. In the following, we will figure out when the use of big data makes sense and under which circumstances their use might make all the difference to firms' decisions. You can imagine that this depends a lot on circumstances. As we found in an EU research project on big data called BITE, that we carried out during the last 3 years, there are huge differences of how big data will affect different sectors. To give an example, while we expect the shipping industry to benefit from big data in making their logistics and trips more efficient, we do not expect big data to substantially change the way it works. In contrast, the health sector has been fundamentally affected by big data, for example, in research, by using it to develop new drugs, in diagnostics, by using it in genetic analysis, or in treatment, by using data collected by nanosensors to design tailor-made drugs, effectively treating patients of different heights, weights, and gender. In the following, we help you to both understand how big data will change our world and to actively influence these changes in the direction that you find economically and societally responsible, useful, or even pleasurable.